Where you going, ducks? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come here. Come here. Stay up here in case they want to come back in, Pop. We had a bird fly over and they all got panicked. Come, Pop. We let the ducks out on the grass today. Oh, we forgot a duck. Sorry, Blue. Sorry, Blue. Come here. I won't chase you out. Stop. Come here, Blue. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. I'll take you out to your buddies. It's okay, Blue. Oh, Brittany. Buddy. Good boy. Echo. Hey, bud. Come here. Come here. Let the ducks play a little bit. Put a fence up so they can't go into all the grass and destroy it before the spring actually comes. But I want to get them out here and start enjoying some of this grass out here because they've been in the mud for far too long. Plus, I don't know what you see like a mud. I also have irises in there and they've been trampling all the irises so they won't come up. So I'm hoping that the irises are still alive and they start popping up. But I'm going to keep the chickens and the ducks out of here as much as I can. Come on, Pup, we'll let them play with the chickens out here on the grass. Welcome back to Whitt Acres. There's a few things I want to try and get done today, but before we get into it, we're going to check on the new baby chicks. Come on, Pup. You want to check on the babies? Oh, Puppy. They're so little. Hey, little chickies. So I got the production pack from Meyer Hatchery. There's supposed to be a variety, which it is. 11 black and 4 yellow. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly what breeds they are, but it's supposed to be a dual purpose egg laying breeds. They're all female except for the red one back there. That would be the Buckeye Rooster, which I'm just calling Buckeye for right now. So we'll see if that sticks. But look how cute they are. They're adorable. This is all their second day. So I think they're 3 days old right now. Just being tiny. They got everything they need in the brooder. They got their heat lamp. They got their water set up. I got 2 of them with pebbles in there so that they don't drown in the water. Then they got their feed, which I have mashed up and soaked in water so they can digest a little bit easier. They have some sand over here on the rock as well for some grit. Put some grit in their stomachs. So they are all set up to go. I don't really have to do anything for these first couple days because I can freshen up their water, keep their food fresh, but they're not going to go through a lot of it yet. A lot nicer day outside than it was when the chicks arrived, so I'm going to try and get some work done outside at the goat hut. Got my bag of tools ready and Puppy's ball. Ooh. Got Echo's ball and my bag of tools. After work today, I put all the chickens and the ducks together with Mumbles the goose, and they've been outside enjoying a little bit of forage in the little grass bubble I gave them. They all came over to the duck pen though, thinking they want to get back into their house, I think. So after work today, I let the chickens and the ducks go together. I made a little bubble fence out here to connect the duck pen to the chicken pen, or the barn entrance. And I let them come out and enjoy some grass today. I typically keep the ducks and the chickens separated, but today I wanted to let them get together because I'm going to be putting them together a little bit more often now coming into spring. I want to get the ducks out of their muddy pen here because I actually have a bunch of irises underneath that bit of hay there, and they're not coming up because the ducks keep trampling over them. So I want to try and give this area a break to where those irises can come up. I can find them, dig them out, and get them into the landscape. But the duck pen really isn't ready to take on the ducks yet. It's just barely starting to grow up, and I need to seed over that area to get some grass over there as well. So I put up another little bubble fence to keep them from going above the house. I brought it over here to give them a little bit of stone area so I can keep their water out of the mud as well. So I'm going to be probably putting the ducks out in this house once I see that the weather is going to be a little bit warmer than it is right now. Once the ducks are in their house, I can let them out and they can come out into the front grassy pen here, and the chickens can come out of the barn and join them. So they'll both have some area here to enjoy some forage and grass, and that should be a lot nicer for the ducks for a while. Come on, Bulls. Having all the animals out in one single barnyard is kind of what I'm working towards. I like to see all the animals interacting and walking around each other than being each separately located in their own pen. So I'm trying to get that typical barnyard look that I think of whenever you have the chickens, the ducks, the geese, the goats, and the cow all standing along one another. Chicken sitting on the cow or something like that. A nice typical barnyard. What are you doing, Mumbles? So out here at the goat hut, there's one thing I really need to get done to make some progress here, and that is the gates. So I have these old trailer panels that my dad made about 50 years ago, and I'm going to be using them as gates for the hut. But I want one gate to be solid. So I found some of this green metal, and I think I'm going to use this to cover up the gate. I have a 6-foot piece and an 11-foot piece, and I'm going to be putting them vertical. I need 3 pieces to go across. So if I cut that 11-foot piece in half, I can have a 6 and 2 5.5s, or I could do 2 6s and 1 5. Let me know what you would do down below. I want it solid so the wind and rain doesn't blow in on the goats in their sleeping pen, but I want it to still swing open. So I'm going to be mounting that on hinges so I can swing it open and get in there and clean out easier. This one's going to be their opener shed pen, so I'm not going to worry about closing that gate off. Whenever they go to bed and go to sleep, they're going to be shut into this gate. So they're going to be completely solid and blocked in from any predators. So this gate needs to be mounted right here, and I did find some hinges for this. I have these old hinges here that I want to try and use for this. I think it has a 1/2-inch hole. So I need to figure out how I can mount these onto the gate here and then somewhere on this post to make it swing. So I gotta figure out how to use those, and I also have this old latch that I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to use here or not, but I brought it up to see if I could try and make it work. If not, I'll use it on something else. After the gates are done, I just need to build their bunk bed. So I've been bringing in some stumps that I should be able to use as different support legs, and just trying out a 2x4, old rough cut 2x4 to see if it was long enough to span the gap. And I'll probably build that here soon. But once I get that done, the hut here should be ready for the goats. I just need to then work on the enclosure outside and get the fence put up. So I did get some confirmation on when I'm getting the goats. Today is Wednesday, and we're going to be picking them up Saturday morning. So I have a few more days to get this ready, but we're still going to be having some cold nights. So since I have a barn that is a bank barn and it keeps a little bit more stable temperatures being half buried, I'm going to be keeping the goats inside the barn for the first few weeks until the temperatures really level off. I don't want to put them straight out here in the cold. Right now they're in a little bit warmer barn, so I don't want to just expose them to the temperatures at a young age. I'm going to get them nice and healthy before we bring them out here into the pen. But I also need to finish the fence and get it ready for them before I bring them out here so they have somewhere to run around. Need a metal stretcher. Alright, as you can see, I went with the 5.5 and 5.5. That way if I ever get annoyed with it, I can always chop that one off and they're all even. I will have to trim this last one to get it to line up on the end of the gate though. I couldn't overlap it one extra one to get it to line up. It'd be short, so I will have to trim this last one, the whole height of it. But I think that's going to work out nicely to protect the goats, keep them out of the wind a little bit more. And give them pretty much a full wall here while they're inside. They're all the way. I think this will work out pretty well for them to keep them out of the wind. I do have something that I might stretch across there on like stormy days to keep the rain from actually blowing in. But I don't think the goats really need a fully enclosed barn. they'll be fine with this partially open, well ventilated space. For right now, I'm only getting meat goats, so they're only going to be here through the summer, and they're going to go to the butcher in the fall, so I don't really have to worry about the winter setup for them. At least not at this point. I'm going to get the metal attached here, but I think I'm going to have to run to Tractor Supply tomorrow and try and pick up some 1/2-inch gate hinges for these. I'm going to need 4 sets of hinges just for the goat hut here and that one fence going out beside the goat hut, and then I'll probably need 2 more sets of hinges for the actual enclosure gates I'm going to be putting on the other side for me to get in. I guess that's not too bad getting this whole structure built for the goats and only having to buy some hardware. It's a pretty nice sunny day today, but it is not very warm. I think the high is 33, so it's still pretty chilly out here. Hey birds, did you find the water, Mumbles? Good girl, Mumbles. Chicken, what are you doing in there, Bonnie? I gotta get my drill. Yesterday I came into the barn brooder here, which is where I'm going to be putting the goats when they first arrive. And I made a little hay feeder out of a freezer basket or refrigerator basket that we didn't use anymore. And I put a hook in there to hang a bucket for water. I also got some wood pine shavings to throw down for the whole area here. Keep them nice and warm. And I moved the chicken's ladder over to this side so they're not sitting on the ladder and pooping down into the goat pen anymore. Oh, Bonnie, you're gonna get some new friends here soon. Have to stop in and check on the little peepers. So fun to just watch them. They're so adorable at this size. Look at Buckeye. Look at him. He doesn't even know what he's here to do. Oh, you pooped on the feeder, girl. Not cool. Not cool at all. Oh, Pop. We get stuck here all day just watching the peepers. Sun's going down a little bit, so it's cooling off, so I closed off their blanket here and lowered the heater just a touch. So they're coming over to the heater and laying down, so they might be feeling a little cool, but I'll keep an eye on them. As long as they're not all spread out or all huddled together, the heat should be good. It's actually just under 60 degrees inside here. All these plastic covers really help hold the heat in the patio here. Huh, puppy? It's nice. It's nice in here. We gotta go back out in the cold. I need to grab a piece of wood that I'm going to be using to secure the gates. So I'm gonna rip this 1x8.5, and then I'm gonna use it as a cross going from that arm there down to this one to try and hold this whole fence together. Because these are trailer panels and they're not actually made to swing like a gate, I need to reinforce them just a little bit to give them that extra support before I can actually hang them as a gate and want them to work that way. As trailer panels, each one of those 4 legs was set into a slot to hold it in place, and it stayed that way for the whole duration of use. It didn't actually need to be swung and swung back shut. So I'm going to rip that in half so I can get 2 of them out of it and use it for the other gate as well and add some support to these. No need to measure a perfect half. It being perfect isn't going to make it work any better. Alright, Echo Pup's telling me that it is dinner time, so that's all I'm getting done tonight. I'll pick up some hinges and then bring you back when we start hanging these gates. Alright, puppy. Okay.